Okay, over here I have about 44 ounces of thawed chicken breast, and it's mixed in a slurry of corn flour with water. So I make it more watery, so I make sure that it covers all the breast. In my cornstarch slurry, I have salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder in here. And I'm just gonna mix it like this until it covers most of it. So it is on the watery side, but I'll show you how I cook it to make it as crispy as possible. All right, so I have a very hot pot right here. For this recipe, you want to add a little bit more oil than usual. So I'll just do like a thin layer around the pot, probably about this much. Okay, when I grab my chicken, I want to make sure I grab the one on the bottom that is touching the slurry the most and drop it in. So while I'm grabbing it, I want to make sure I grab as much of the slurry on the chicken and then dump it in. So you have to be pretty fast. So just watch. So essentially, you want to make sure that it's dipped pretty well in the slurry and going in with it without draining the slurry out. You want to make sure you lather it. So keep in mind, I do cook for a family of 5, where basically 3 of us are adult eaters and 2 of us are little kids. So I do cook kind of like a huge batch. Right. And while that's sitting on here for just a little bit, I already start flipping it so that the slurry on top gets a little bit of the toast or the pan's heat. Now I'm going to wash this spatula because it has the raw chicken juice and we don't want to cross-contaminate salmonella here, so we'll be back. So you see how it's getting more brown on this side right here? You want everything to look like that. The ones back here are almost done because it's like a nice dark golden brown and it has a little bit of a crunch. When I tell people that I eat chicken breast a lot, I try to make different variations so that I don't get bored eating it. So this is what I mean by eating chicken breast. It's, seasoned differently and made a little bit differently. So there's other ways, you could grill it, you could bake it, you could air fry it. And I'll show you more recipes on how I stay stable eating chicken breast. All right, so over here I reserved about 8.2 ounces of chicken breast for myself, and then I have the rest of this for my family. I have a tablespoon of white pepper, a half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of kosher salt. So what you want to do is mix it together like this very well. If you want it more salty, you can add a little bit more salt, but I'm just gonna leave it like this for right now. What I want to do is just sprinkle on both sides. You want to put a pretty hefty amount of it. And you want to make sure you do this while it's still hot. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of go like this. So it just depends on you how much seasoning you like. If you like it more salty, you can add more. If you don't like it as salty, just go very light until it tastes the way that you like it. And you want to make sure you season both sides. Some of my chicken breasts are like different sizes, meaning like some of them are thinner and some of them are like thicker. So the thinner ones don't need as much seasoning, but if you could figure that out. I typically eat mine with mixed vegetable and a little bit of jasmine rice, but my family eats it with jasmine rice. But you can make different alternatives. Like if you want to make it very fulfilling, you could, eat it with broccoli, it's fine, or some kind of grilled vegetable. And also baked potato is also really nice with this. So that's just other options. All right, so here's my dish. I have about 70 grams of mixed vegetables and 50 grams of cooked white rice. And this is my meal for today. I'll put the description below of how many calories and all that for you guys. I just got out the shower and just doing my usual skincare. Acne cream. So I do have a little bit of acne and it's kind of pussy because it popped when I showered. But hey, it's okay. What can you do? I actually go over it and it doesn't sting. But remember, I have a little bit of a high tolerance. So my description of what hurts and what doesn't hurt might be different from yours. At the end of the day, you will have to test it out yourself. So I am an acne prone, oily skin girly, and I do like uh, certain products more than others. There's no one size fits all. So I like to try on one skincare at a time and then test it out for like a couple of days to see if I get a reaction. And then I move on to the next thing. And then that's when I start layering stuff. So all the stuff that I tried, I will layer it when it makes sense. So this helps the skincare absorb better on your skin. You do have to put some kind of like a gel or a serum for it to work very well. I've also been using this retinol cream and it's really nice. It's light. When I use this type of stuff, I try to focus a majority of it on the center of my face because that's where people are looking. But sometimes I do have a little bit of like acne right here, and I'll do a smidge right there. But for the most part, I keep it as centered to my face as possible. And so I am on a self care journey. I am a busy mom. I am a busy working mom, and it's kind of hard to like even do skincare sometimes, but I still try my best to do it every day, and I do see an improvement. So I try to make sure that I do this every night, but sometimes I do forget, and that's fine. And some days I have, bad skin. I have, acne or um, other things going on from other, I don't know, stress, hormones, all that. But for the most part, yeah, my skin looks plump with skincare. So I had to remind myself self care is important if I want to keep up with it. So remember, there's no one step for every single person. You just have to, you know, trial and error and figure it out yourself. But yeah, this is what I look like with no makeup at all, and do have acne here and there. Sometimes I get the acne scarring, but I don't know. I'm one of those people that I'll get a pimple right before I have my period, and then after my period, the pimple will kind of diminish, and then I'll go through like a 2 week phase where I'm like, my face is all good, and then another 2 weeks I'll have pimples again, and et cetera, et cetera. So it has to be a hormone thing because it just makes sense, right? It has to be, right? I have a huge pimple like this. I try to get rid of it like soon. So I have pimple patches. And it helps diminish the size of it as much as possible and the scarring. All right, so after all of this stuff, I might put a face mask on after, or one of those like collagen wrapping mask over, and then sleep with it at nighttime because I feel like that makes my pores shrink a lot. And I wake up in the morning feeling like my pores are very tight and my skin looks much more smoother. So, um, is it forever? No, it does go away and my pores, do come back, but it does, my pores do look much smaller with skincare. Yeah, my channel is basically me going on through this self-care journey where I show you guys how to do makeup looks through makeup tutorials, either on myself or on other people. And I show you guys how I do skincare, and that's a part of my self-care journey because sometimes I forget to take care of myself because I'm too busy taking care of other people. And then I also do weightlifting, yoga, and I also bring some high protein cooking into my channel so that you guys can kind of see where I'm at with that. And all of that is like, my circle of life. Like if I don't have one of those, I'm kind of, not following the right path, like I start fumbling down. And then this is how I keep going and keep having the energy to do all the things that I do. And if you guys want to see more of that, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos from me. And don't forget, my name is Lily. It's pronounced Lee. So see you guys on the next one.